didn't do anything to Peter. He brought all this on himself. But that's the point. He did all this by himself. He was confident. He was brash. He was surface level brave. But when things looked like they were truly falling apart and it got really, really scary, his flesh just took over. Peter's third denial. Welcome to Bible Study Hub. I'm Ann Wiggins. Let's get back into John chapter 18. We will be doing verses 25 to 27 today, and I will be reading from the Legacy Standard Bible as always. So let's go. John 18, 25 to 27 says this. Now Simon Peter was standing and warming himself. So they said to him, "You are not also one of his disciples, are you?" He denied it and said, "I am not." One of the slaves of the high priest, being a relative of the one whose ear Peter cut off, said, "Did I not see you in the garden with him?" Peter then denied it again, and immediately a rooster crowed. In Matthew 26:75, it tells us that after Peter's last denial here, that he realized that Jesus's prophecy about him had come true and the rooster had crowed, and it says he went out and wept bitterly. Peter's life must feel like it's over at this point. I mean, here's the leader of the group. He's been so amazing. The one who told Jesus that confession in John 6:69 of, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." He got that right. He's the one who jumped out of a boat and walked on the water with Jesus. He saw Jesus glorified on the Mount of Transfiguration. Jesus was his best friend, his rabbi, his mentor, his Lord. And in the last few moments here, after Jesus' arrest before he's crucified, he manages to deny Jesus 3 times. Have you ever wondered why the Bible would include a story like this in multiple places, multiple times? Well, for one, that is indication that the Bible is indeed true. False gospels don't record unsavory acts or failures by their heroes. Maybe because leaders are held to a higher level of accountability, and Peter was the leader of the disciples under Jesus. Maybe that's why. But most of all, maybe it's recorded because Peter messed up, like we mess up. And it's not so much about the mess up as it is about the cleanup. We'll find out later in John that Jesus meets with Peter privately. And to this day, we don't know what he said to him. It's just not recorded. But after that meeting, Peter is restored, and he obviously is going to go on to be a brave, outspoken, Spirit-filled person in ministry, and he will actually die a martyr's death at the end. So let me just say this too. Sometimes God has to humble us, and it actually, at least for me, it takes very little to do it. God didn't do anything to Peter. He brought all this on himself, but that's the point. He did all this by himself. When given the opportunity to pray in the Garden of Gethsemane, Peter and all the other disciples instead fell asleep. He was confident. He was brash. He was surface level brave. But when things looked like they were truly falling apart and it got really, really scary, his flesh just took over and he completely humiliated himself. The best way to keep from having humiliating regrets is to walk in the Spirit at all times and just realize how vulnerable we are. I know the darkness of the human heart and how prone to sin I am. I recognize how much prayer I need to have a fighting chance at thwarting the fiery darts of the enemy. Jesus had told Peter that Satan had requested to sift him like wheat. And at that moment, the sifting was pretty profound. He is down for the count. He has no idea how or if or when to come back from this. In fact, we'll find out later that Peter actually temporarily quits. He walks away from discipleship. He goes back to his old career of fishing. Jesus won't just let him go. But if it had been up to Peter, he was done. He was out. So let me ask, where are you? Have you had a sifting? Have you been humbled? Do you ever feel like quitting? Are you just tired? Let's allow the story of Peter to inform us in a way that kind of helps us keep from the pitfalls of operating in the flesh and out of fear. Stay strong in the Lord and remember that you have something that Peter didn't have at this moment. That is the indwelling of the Holy Spirit to help you in your time of need. Peter's life will forever be changed by this very moment, and of course, the ones to follow. Let's live and walk in the Spirit so that we can circumvent those types of situations ourselves, and also know that when Peter is finally indwelt and filled with the Holy Spirit, the Peter that we see after that is nothing like the Peter prior to that. He's operating in the flesh on his own, and it doesn't go well. We have the advantage of, at the moment of salvation, receiving that gift of the indwelling of the Holy Spirit. And with that present in our lives, Lord willing, we lean into that and we embrace it and we ask Him to fill us and to help us so that we don't have these moments of humiliation and defeat. Thank you so much for being with me here on Bible Study Hub. That's it for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Lord willing, we'll reconvene Monday if you happen to be watching with us live. This is Friday as we go live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and Facebook. And hopefully this helps us get off to a great start on our day. Have a great weekend, and Lord willing, I will see you soon.